Hi Brad, if I understand your question correctly, what you want to do is to create something a bit more like old-fashioned graph paper rather than the default Xara grid, which I have to admit is fairly ugly. I'll just show it up there and just let me explain to get this. This is an A4 landscape page, and to get it into this HD definition size recording, I've got to reduce it down to 62%. If I go up to 100%, that's the normal thing. And you basically, what you're saying is you don't like that grid. It's not a very nice grid to work with, and basically I agree with that. So my way around that, I'll just hit the hash key again, or the pound key if you're American, I think they call it, to get rid of the that grid. What you can actually do is to make a false grid yourself. I'm just going to show you what I mean by that. To start off with, let's have a look at the grid we've already got. So go to Utilities, Options, go to Grid, and I've got this 1 centimetre grid which you seem to have wanted, and I've actually made it 2 subdivisions, so it's a 1/2 centimetre each here by 1/2 centimetre, which I think will come in handy when you're doing flow charts as you want to do. Ideally, Xara is not the best way to do flow charts, but I hardly ever use them, but occasionally when I do, I don't find them too hard to create in Xara. Then I find it harder to actually get used to using a flow chart software that can become very complicated to use. So okay, what I've actually done here is just created a load of lines, and the major lines on the 1 centimetre side lines at 1 point. I'll just move that back again, and the intermediate ones are 0.25 points. Just zoom back in again to 100%, so you can see that. You can see that a bit more clearly. And that looks like the graph paper, and I think that's the effect you're after. Basically, you're not locking at all to these this false grid. This false grid, it is fitted on Xara's own grid, which is the one you don't want to use. So if I just click off the false grid for a minute, it's not there. Click that back, that's gone. Hit the hash or pound key, and that's there. Okay, now the thing is, we're not locking to this grid, we're locking to the Xara's own grid, but this is just a false grid, and this is a grid that you seem to prefer and want to use too. So I'm going to make that uneditable. I'm now going to go into the flowchart area, and let's just click back to to the previous zoom, the full screen size, and say you want to create a rectangle, say of that shape. You can do that. I don't know, let's give it some colour and sex it up a bit, black outline. Okay, you can then also clone that as a flow chart, move it around, reduce it down in size as you require. You can use cycles. Sorry, that's this screen grabber. It takes a bit of time. Give that the same type of thing there. You can use quick shapes. Where are my quick shapes? That out. So you wanted to create one of used. I don't know what they are, but they are used. I've seen them being used in flowcharts. So you've got that shapes, and they click quite happily to the grid without you actually looking at the Xara grid, and you can move them around as and when you want. Then finally you can have joining lines. Let's say you want to do make a joining line, and what might help here, if I move the false grid above the flowchart and above the adjoining lines, you can now see, and if I zoom in again, you can now see where the centre point of all these objects are. I'll click back out again. So if I wanted to go into the joining lines, I can create a joining line that goes down like this, down like that, sorry, yep, down like this, down like that to that one. I can then bring it down here, down there to the centre of that one, and I'm going to make that, say, 2. I can give these corner bits, whoops, bottom, give those corner bits there, and that might look a bit odd at the moment, but if you actually bring the false grid down and then the joining lines layered down, you can see you're starting to get the type of thing that you want with the false grid in, and then eventually you can just hide the false grid, and that will give you what you want. Anyway, I hope that helped. One final thing, the grid, let's just see, the grid colour is a named colour. Excuse my dog in the background barking. If I bring up this here, which is called graph lines, I can change it to any colour you want, or any colour required. Well, that's the end of it. Hope my little mumble bumble helped you a bit. All the best. Cheers. Egg. Goodbye.